Hello, all my beautiful friends. Thank you again, as always, for all your likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. You guys are the reason that my message is getting out to everyone, so I greatly appreciate that. So, in honor of my birthday, because I am an August Virgo, sorry, Leos, it's not all about you, I want to do something special for you guys and for the channel. So, anyone that shares a link to any of my videos for the rest of the month till September 1st, using the links below. If you share my videos to Facebook or Twitter and tag my social media, so either on Twitter you would have to @me, or on Facebook you would have to put the spiritual siren, again, tag me in the post. Otherwise I can't see that you shared it. If you make sure that I can see that you shared it, I will then DM or private message you a card that I pull for you from the Abraham Hicks deck. So if you can't figure out how to tag or share for some reason, you can always screenshot that you shared it and email me the screenshot, and then I will email you a card pull. So I'm not going to interpret the cards for you because, like you guys have seen before, these cards have the interpretation on them. So basically, you guys would be giving me a birthday gift by sharing the video, and then I return the favor, or the party favor, of a card pull for you guys. So I hope you guys decide to share, and I look forward to connecting with you guys more. Mwah. All right, Scorpio, I know this is a little weird, but as soon as I started shuffling the cards for you, my nose got stuffy. Like, I literally, was struggling to breathe, particularly out of my left nostril. It feels as if it's clogged, but, it's not. So, I want to say you're going to have not a hard time, but you're going to have a challenge this month with sniffing out the problem in your love life or remember, especially if you're single, these readings can apply to your family, okay, as well as your close friends, because those are all people you love. So when I shuffle these cards, I say for love and matters of the heart, okay? The cards that just fell out is the Ace of Swords with the Tower, and on the bottom of the deck we have the Four of Wands. So yes, and that makes sense, right? I just said sniffing out the problem, okay? Getting your senses, like all your senses, back online. You know, the eclipses always bring major change, and a lot of times the Tower talks about, something that has to break down before it could be built up, or something that gets revealed to you that is kind of dramatic. And it doesn't have to be chaotic necessarily, but it can be something that is jarring to your spirit. Both of these cards have yads on them, meaning that, yads are these little flame-looking items, and both of them talk about divine intervention. So I very much think that this eclipse, which is on the 7th, the smaller one, the Lionsgate portal is on 8/8, and then the major new moon eclipse is on the 21st, okay? I think this will bring you great clarity on whatever has been under your nose, but you couldn't quite pinpoint it. Oh my God, yeah, now I can almost completely smell again. Okay, so you're not going to have, you're not able to sniff this one out, Scorpio, and it's okay. I think last month, or maybe it was in your general for this month, I said use your superpowers on yourself, and this last part, Spirit is just going to, do it on your behalf. I think for a lot of you, it's going to be around your actual home. Your actual home. Whether it be you realize what it's going to take for you to move in with a partner, what it's going to take for you and your partner to move from a apartment to buying a house, what it's going to take for you to separate from your family or move out with roommates, okay? What it's going to take for you to establish a sense of self, okay? Because what's interesting is you have the Ace of Swords, which talks about clarity. It talks about cutting through difficulty. And I also just told Libra burning off mental clouds. So especially if you have Libra in your chart, I would think this applies to you more. And then we have the Tower, which talks about a wake-up call, which talks about something that was built on sand, so to speak, that just starts to disintegrate. because anything that is not founded on love, pure unconditional love, or in alignment with your highest truth, your soul's path will crumble. So if something has already crumbled, you're going to know why. And I think if it did crumble, or if it's been really difficult, or this has been something that's been very challenging to you, I think it will surround what you consider your home, what feels like home to you, your actual home, or like I explained it to Libra, because they had this card as well, was your inner temple, right? Because our inner world is a reflection of our outer world. So how are you, is your inner child feeling accepted at home in your own body? You know, that's a good place to start this month. All right, Scorpio, this is really interesting, and I'm really liking this. Just, you know, we have the Tower in the beginning, right, which is one major arcana, and then I only have one more major arcana here. So even though these are all minor arcana cards, I feel like this month, the messages I'm going to have for you are going to be a couple different scenarios, all relating to the message I already gave you about getting, not being able to sniff out that one thing that was an issue and it getting revealed through the eclipse, especially as it relates to, again, your stability, what makes you feel at home, how you make yourself feel at home and loved. And, you know, the Four of Wands also talks about community. I definitely see friendship as well as relationship as well as family in this spread. And yeah, so more so everything that I'm going to talk about is different scenarios that relate to that same theme of getting that final piece. I said the same thing to Libra, that final piece of the puzzle. Your overall energy is forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And we have the overall energy too of the Temperance. So this mimics the Romance card, saying that healing is what is available to you first and foremost this month, Scorpio. It is really where your focus is. And I think it's important to remember that everything that happens to us, right, to us, is really something that we have orchestrated. And, you know, eclipses, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to say, I surrender. Because we don't know better, and eclipses show us that. That is Spirit's way of, like, you know, checking, like, whomever is not on their path, they redirect their path, they clear their path, they build, you know, Spirit creates great change through eclipses, okay? It's kind of like the part, you know, in a long journey where you have to check in at the signpost and make sure that you have all your materials and that, you know, your map is up to date and all those things. Like, it's like, okay, where are you at? Are you at where you're supposed to be? You know, are you ahead of that? You know, how can we help you get to your destination faster? And what's your destination? Coming into full unconditional love during your existence on this planet. Okay, so even though it may seem really far away from a linear perspective, it is always accessible to us from a non-linear perspective. So what I love about this Temperance card for you as well is what we have here in the past is retreat. It's time for you to disconnect from the world. The Queen of Cups with the Ace of Cups. So there's two cups here, right? And in the Temperance card, we also have two cups. And before the Temperance card came up, obviously these came up, and I said to myself, oh, how lovely. You finally filled up your own cup. Okay? Scorpios, particularly women, I think the men, a Scorpio woman, or rather their woman, may have retreated on them to, again, not necessarily in a breakup way, but just to get themselves right, you know what I mean, leading to whatever. So I think the woman listening to this, right, or the woman involved in this scenario, withdrew from, I think, more than just, like I said, it doesn't have to be like broke up in the relationship, but just was not as physically present because they knew they needed to heal, to fill up their own cup. They knew that there needed to be things done to make themselves feel loved, right? To forgive and learn their own transgressions. I feel like whatever has been bothering Scorpio in the past, like even beyond this, right? Because this is usually like a month ago or so. This is probably how you spent most of your time in July. Through withdrawal, because Scorpio is so deep, and Scorpio is a water sign, water can hold anything. But anything water holds also taints the water. and water constantly needs to be purified. So know, Scorpio, that no matter what anybody has to say about the time that you have spent detached from the people that you love, that time you have spent apart, know that it was for something that is a lot bigger, and you were deserved that. Like, don't feel bad about the time you spent apart. Okay? Don't feel bad about that. Any time that you have taken to rejuvenate yourself, whether it be a vacation, whether it be, not talking, on social media for a couple weeks, or, needing to go on a spot or whatever, it does not matter. Dropping your kids off at their grandmother's house or whatever. Like, anything that you did to get yourself back in tune with your truest nature, okay? Especially as it relates to your partner. But I feel as though Scorpios more doing this for themselves. And because they know it will ultimately benefit their relationships or their friendships or their abilities to deal with their family. Temperance also talks about physical healing. So again, Scorpio being a water sign, water can be easily manipulated and poisoned. So not saying that someone poisoned you, obviously, but if your emotional body gets muddy and stagnant, that can grow mold and bacteria, okay? So I think you may have had to take time too, or are taking time this month, now that you've gotten yourself emotionally on track and know where you're standing in your, you've deciphered everything that you've gone through. That's another thing. There's deep reflection in the Queen of Cups. She, through staring at herself, her reflection, right, through her own emotions, she comes into a deeper sense of knowing. And then can use that sense of knowing to heal the physical vessel in the world around her. Okay? In the present, we have playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit to shine. And then we had 2 cards fall out. The Queen of Pentacles combined with the 6 of Pentacles, clarified by the 5 of Wands. Now I have a couple stories here. One with playfulness, I think overall, now that you're back even keeled and feeling really full and yourself, I don't think you were feeling yourself so much, Scorpio. Because even though Cancer is a water sign, it's a very different water sign than you are. Me being a Scorpio moon, having dealt with Cancer suns and Cancer moons, like in Cancer risings, I can definitely agree with that. They are different. They deal with their emotions differently. Not that they're not deep, but they're very more empathetic than we are. Now, again, not that we're not empathetic, but they express it differently. And I think, it's just different. It's just different. I look at Cancer as more shallow bodies of water, not because they're shallow, but just because they're younger, right? It's the earlier expression of emotion. It's focused on security and safety. And it's easier to manage a pond, a pool, a spring, a brook, than it is to manage an ocean. So I look at Scorpio as the ocean because the ocean is really deep. And there's so much of the ocean that is black and unexplored and unknown and not understood to man. And then if I was going to go to the last water sign of Pisces, I look at Pisces as not water at all, to be honest. I look at Pisces as space. I look at Pisces as the mystery that is space. And how there's, again, so much to be unexplored, but also that we don't even have access to it. At least with the ocean, we could go diving down deep there, and we could finally bring someone into that understanding. But with Pisces, it's more about believing, right? So now that you're back to yourself, right, you're ready to have fun, okay? I think a lot of you are ready to enjoy the last of summer, for those of you that are in the Northern Hemisphere, and are really just ready to lighten up, like you're done being serious, like, because you're feeling good, you're healed, you have come back into, a place that feels good to you, therefore you can have fun and enjoy your life. Now, again, a couple scenarios. So those of you that are parents, I see this as you, again, potentially with whether you have Earth in your chart or you're dealing with an Earth sign or you are a mother, I see this as you having to, the five of wands is clarifying these two cards. The five of wands is competition, right? But in akin to playfulness, it can be that kind of competition as well. It can be like a fun, competitive, going at, spending a lot of time with other people and just kind of like asserting yourself and being out there. So what maybe used to be a struggle, you've now found like you can make it a game. Okay, whether that be with your children, right? This could be a lot of action and you spending time with your children, or you maybe have found a new playful approach to getting the people that you need to cooperate with you, whether it be like your spouse that you need to come bring child support, or to help you with someone that's helping you with your child, like, or your child itself, maybe before, because you weren't really feeling your best self, you were having a hard time managing their moods, and now you're back to, you know what, I can make a game out of this. Because I'm back feeling good about myself, I can channel my inner 5-year-old and I can, have this game. For those of you that are not romantically dealing with an earth sign, but this is a friend or something like that, I see this as you, again, like, through fun and getting back to the root of your friendship and the reason that you even come together in partnership and saying, you know what, even though we are different, I know that we can hash this out and meet each other's needs. Okay? Because, I'm, like I said, I'm a Scorpio moon, but I was having this thought the other day about how obviously relationships that don't make you feel good are not for you, okay? But it's okay to have friends that don't like tick off every single box of like what your perfect person would be. And again, like, I don't mean it in a settling way or whatever, but it's like there's only so many things. Like, we can't expect people, like, if someone's not a bad friend if they don't eat the same foods as you do, or like, they like action movies and you only like comedies or whatever. Like, that's the kind of 5 of wands energy I feel here. It's like, despite our differences and like sometimes we're gonna not agree, but I love the time I spend with you. You are very fun to me. We have a good banter that goes. So I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to use my lighthearted inner child energy to fix the way that we exchange our energy and time together. I'm going to make it more beneficial for you. And I don't see this necessarily you doing all this work. As I say you, this could be the other person. I see the other person meeting you halfway. Typically, the 6 of Pentacles I don't really love in love readings, but this feels very, it feels like you're both, right? You're both fighting to fix this, fighting for the relationship, because you realize that it is fun. And if this is your mother, if this is not you and this is your mother, I say that I see this again as you just bring a more youthful approach to the scenario and like kind of being able to laugh it off, because she just wants to be heard and understood. Not even understood. She just wants to, to have you notice her, even though you probably do the most anyways. But don't be scared to draw boundaries either. This isn't saying yield to other people. What I'm saying is just be playful about it. Be lighthearted about it. So instead of like, it doesn't have to be an argument, basically. It doesn't have to be serious. What was it? I channeled it last night. If you speak on what bothers you right in that moment, right in that very instant that you get that intuition, it is the easiest to deal with from that moment. Every single second that ticks by after you suppress or say, okay, but don't verbalize the intuition you get, it gets more and more difficult to express your truth. So with that being said, right, 5 of wands, knowing that I believe in different things than you do, and I'm going to still assert myself regardless of you. Yet, I desire stability, and therefore I'm willing to put forth reciprocal effort in this relationship. Okay? Because I understand that I have to forgive and learn from my own, the ways I haven't filled up my own cup. I cannot hold you responsible for everything because I know that I have to be responsible for my own healing, but I also have to be responsible for verbalizing my needs. Okay? That's the thing about compromise. Compromise requires that you also take responsibility for your half when bringing up to somebody else, hey, this X, Y, and Z that you did upsets me. But I understand that by me doing ABC, it made it seem like you don't have to do that for me. I know that was vague, but you guys get what I'm saying. These cards are really interesting. In the future, we have true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. These two cards fell out together. 9 of Cups with the 5 of Cups. Clarified by the Knight of Wands. Now, this true love, if you're in a relationship, this could totally be like you guys get over whatever hump has been there, because the 9 of Cups with the 5 of Cups is talking about, it's the wish card and the disappointment card. So it's like you realizing there was nothing ever to be disappointed about, and that you can grant your own wishes all the time, and that the love of your life lives within you, and therefore it lives within everybody. Or you're just going to realize that, there is nothing to mull over in your relationship anymore. There is nothing that can take away from how great this partnership is. Because, again, regardless of how you are different in the way that you may argue, right? Ultimately, you really complement each other. And you really help each other recalibrate and get in touch with your emotions. You respect each other's time apart. And again, that can go for friendships, relationships, family. Okay? This love feels unconditional to me. So now, and I think this is going to happen really quickly. Again, with the eclipse in the beginning, we had the Ace of Swords and the Tower, right? Quick clarity, right? Because you couldn't sniff it out. So then it's just like, whoa, I feel really good. I know I don't have anything. All I have to do is get into my good feeling place to get over these old disappointments. Because that's one thing about water signs in general. And I know Scorpio, we don't forget anything. So you're realizing, it's not worth it. You may never forget, but you know it's not worth it. It's not worth bringing it up anymore. It's not worth wallowing in that energy. You realize now, I can set myself free from that nagging place whenever I want to. And I think it's going to happen very quickly. Potentially through conversation, or again, like I was saying here, taking responsibility for your portion in the relationship, as well as also taking responsibility by saying what your needs are and how you have shortchanged your own needs, but also in turn, what you would need from another person to move forward. And I think that you will be able to. Because again, whatever relationship I'm talking about, whether it be family, friends, lovers, new lovers, whatever, you're realizing that happiness is more important. Feeling good is more important. Being around people that love you is more important than wallowing, than wishing things could be different, but not doing anything to change them. And everything's going to change quickly, and you're going to heal. And I think the things that you're going to heal from more than anything are things that you, resentments that you've held against other people, or even yourself for accepting that behavior. And you're going to realize, you know what? I can take responsibility for all of it right here in the now, because time is non-linear. And if anything, us being in a physical vessel is the past, right? Because it has to come from the cosmos first to be created. So know that everything that you're experiencing right now is already passing. It's done. Okay? Onward and upward. With the strong ties that really fill you. I love seeing all these cup cards for us. What do we got here? I intend to co-create from my place of positive attraction. Beautiful. The individual creators who are coming together must be in a place of positive attraction before they come together, or nothing positive can come out of the co-creation. If you are negatively focused and not feeling good, you can only attract others who are in the same state of negative attraction. This is why looking for a mate from a place of insecurity or lack of anything can never bring you the mate you really want, but instead brings you one who amplifies your current lack. Again, so this is exactly what this future position is talking about. So again, if this is a parent or a family member or a friend or a lover or a new partner that you're trying to attract, you finally come into this understanding, whether it be through intuition or through someone, whether it be this reading or someone mentioning something to you, it's finally going to click. When this card's 44, so we're talking about stability again. You're like, wow. Again, true love is available to me all the time by stepping into my good feeling place and wishing away. Okay, like granting yourself happiness. Literally, 9 of Cups. I want to be comfortable. I want to feel good. Therefore, I'm just going to say, you know what? I feel good. This old shit doesn't bother me anymore. Because I know I may never forget about it, but it doesn't own me. Love is more important. Companionship is more important. And again, not in a way that is damaging to you. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay? Scorpio, I hope you found this helpful. It has been my pleasure, and I will be back soon with your September readings. Peace.